Yes, KF5FUR, it's James here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about homebrew antennas for the buddy ham. It's very fun for me to experiment with different antennas, and there are different uses, even though ultimately they do the same thing. Now, first of all, to start off by, if you have any neighbors that you know and you see an old antenna pole sticking up, and they've got an old aluminum off-air antenna sticking up there, ask them about it. A lot of times they'll be willing just to give it to you if you take it down. And 90% of the time I found them they were aluminum, and which is great a great metal to work with. It's just a rolled tube with a seam, and I mean they're just fine. They've got some flex to them, and they're very lightweight, so they can handle wind loads. Pretty good wind loads, I'd say. And a lot of them you see are jacked up because they've been up there for 30 plus years. But they've got all kinds of great. This is just one I threw back together just for shits and giggles. See, that's a little just insulator bracket, and wing nuts with them. And this is where the twin lead attached. And these can be great because there's a lot of bolts on them with wing nuts, and you can just take the square tubing of the beam and drill holes wherever you need them and take these. And this is actually a Slim Jim that was on one, which would have been towards the rear of the antenna. And this one's just a radio. See, this one's got not a radio. And this is I was going to say aerial, but that's not what I was looking for. It is an aerial, but it's part of an aerial. But this one's got a reinforced end with a hole already in it. A lot of times you just drill out the rivets, hacksaw, trim. In fact, that's what my over-under is outside right now. It's kind of like this one. It's got the shield hooked to the bottom one and the center core conductor at the top one. Now that doesn't necessarily matter which one's oriented on top or not, but that's a rule of thumb. I kind of tend to stick the shielded antenna, as I just so commonly call it, on bottom. Even though you make them halfway, the wavelength alternates and it changes polarization on the antennas. This is one I modified for portable use. Now, I know this says it's 75 to 300 ohm, but you got to take that baling out. I just choose some heavy gauge speaker wire and just wired it up appropriately, so there is no baling in there anymore. And of course they pivot and they press on. So I have this, I can't even remember what connector it's called. It's a UHF to your standard Cat V, well, CATV connector or satellite connector. I wish I could remember the designation and sound a little more professional, but these press on. They could get a little wobbly in the wind, but you glue that on, and you could adjust this antenna. You can set it horizontal or vertical, and you want to have an SWR meter with you, and just measure, and you could adjust it. And I kind of call this my little portable semi-homebrew multi-band antenna, because you can change the wavelength of the antenna. You can do different wavelengths within the same band. This would just be a great little portable thing to hang up from a tree. You probably want something a little more sturdier than that, but that was just a little 10-minute project. And I did make a beam out of some of these old parts. Put it on an MFJ analyzer, antenna analyzer, great great piece of electronics. Can't afford one, but I'll shell out 300 plus bucks for one in a heartbeat if I had it. Don't have to have a radio input for it. I mean, they're great. I had my little over-under dipole tested, and it came out with right there around. We were around trucks, and people were standing around, so it will raise SWR slightly. It was 2 to 1, and that's fine to run on 2 meters, but you get it up there, you get it all hooked up and oriented correctly up on a tower, then your SWR will go down. So I'm likely running, if not 1 to 1, close to 1 to 1. But the beam didn't fare so well. If that came out with I'm not going to get red over this because it was just an experiment. It was made with an antenna calculator. I got a SWR reading of 15, which I didn't even know that was possible. But I mean, there's just countless possibilities. I'm going to reach over here and grab this since I got some more time. Let me grab these 2 things here. I don't have much room in here. Okay, this is like one of those areas. Got these plastic things, and they'll kind of clip into place because the way the plastic's molded, and but those are kind of diagonal to the support beam, the main beam here. So I mean that's not something that you really see in radios. But I found these, and these are like a bow tie reflectors. Well, yeah, they were reflector elements, and well, just hooked them together to experiment with them. And these actually part will lift up and they'll fold straight for portability, I guess. I don't know why you would want to make an antenna this huge as it was when it was put together, portable. But that's how they made them back then. Once again, there's a lot of handy little machine screws with wing nuts, and I find those very nice when you don't have a ready supply of rivets and stuff like that, and screws and junk. But there's all kinds of things you can do, and it's real easy. There's all kinds of antenna calculators all over the internet. Some of them are more complex to use than others. If you'd like any URLs to any of those, I'd be happy to supply them for you, and they're free to use. And there's one site where there's freeware, you can download calculators. Some of them will download and you can use them offline, some of them you can only use them online. But it will download like something to your temporary internet files to be able to run the program. And it's safe. I've done a virus scan, you don't have to worry about that. And generally, the more complex the antenna calculator, the more it can be trusted. If you don't know so much about what you're doing, like I didn't know so much what I was doing when I built that beam. But I'm kind of happy now that I didn't have to rig up all the rotator stuff. You really only need to do the rotator stuff and set up with a beam and all that when you get set up with the general class bands. So you don't really need a 2 meter, 70 centimeter. It's more of a regional thing, and your HF is just more distance. So I wouldn't even worry about rotator systems till you're a general class. And I'm making a rather smart move, I think. Let me pull it up so I can get that name right. I'm going to wait a while and save up about $1,000 and get me a Yaesu FT897D. It'll do anything and everything. All modes, the newest modes, all the bands a ham could ever want to operate on, and that'd be a good power move when I would come to general. But so I'm running out of time here, and if any questions, just send me a message. Just get 5 FUR. Until next time.